A big hello to you all, it's Seryoga and this is the YouTube channel Assistance TV. Today I headed out to my home river, the Seversky Donets, to film 5 DIY projects for fishing for you. I hope you like these DIY projects. They will be unusual, and some of them you can already use this year on your fishing trips. So friends, let's get started. I want to tell you how easy and quick it is to make a bite alarm for your bottom fishing rig made from a regular lighter. In my hands I have a lighter with a flashlight. Here it is, it turns on, lights up and glows. And now I'm going to show you how to easily make a night bite alarm for your bottom fishing rig. It will light up at the moment of a bite. The first thing we need to do is disassemble our lighter and take out the flashlight from it. I have it screwed in here, so I'm carefully unscrewing this little screw like this. And we disassemble our lighter. We lift this cover and see that our flashlight is hidden here, which turns on and lights up. We need to take it out from here to get it out. After we took the flashlight out of the lighter, it looks like this little thing, and when the wire connects the contact of the LED, it lights up. The LED lights up. Here it is. After we took our flashlight out of the lighter, we need to remove the reel from our bottom fishing rig. We unscrew the reel from the holder and take out our reel. The next thing we need to do is secure our flashlight. Right at this spot above the reel, all of this is done using a rubber band. So initially we take a rubber band and thread it through, like this a few times here. We're getting it tangled up, so now we have this little thing. And now we twist and pull it to the place we need, right here above the reel. After we threaded the rubber band here, we need to secure our flashlight in the on position. We need to secure it right here, so the reel will be at the bottom, and we attach it here. It's really simple. We just take it, and we press it here, and that way our flashlight will stay on constantly. I managed to secure our flashlight using a rubber band and a small stick. In the on position, you can see that it's lit up. Now, is there anything else you need to do? It's just about putting our reel back together. And now I'll show you how this DIY project works. It's really simple, guys, it couldn't be easier. A lighter is very cheap, and you can make several of these signalers for just a few cents. Let's imagine that we're fishing, and our bottom fishing rig is set up on this kind of rod holder. So we made the cast and set it on the rod holder. And now we connect our signaler. Here, friends, it's all simple. The signaler is lit up now. As you can see, it's lit up. After the cast, we need to take our line and thread it through, right here, under our contact. You see, the signaler has stopped lighting up. Now let's imagine that we have a bite and our line is tight. When we get a bite, it just jumps out, and that's where ours and yours come from. Signal, or it starts to bite like this constantly. I'll show you again how it works. We take our line or fishing line. We thread it under our indicator so that it doesn't light up. The line, it breaks the contact. Just like that. And now I'm going to hold the end of the line. During a bite, our line just goes pop and slips off. When the line slips off, the indicator stays lit constantly. It's a very simple yet very effective rig. Here I go, I'm hooking the second end where the fish is. Here it is. I'm making a bite. As you can see, there's a bite. Our line slips off and our indicator lights up. Pretty simple and really cool. Next, I'd like to talk about how to make a float from a feather. Like, you can see that I'm currently at a small beach, so to speak. Well, you could say it's a small beach. And on this beach, wild ducks and geese come when there are no people around. And what does that indicate? What ducks and geese are there here? This is indicated by their feathers scattered along the shore. So they come here to clean themselves and eat fish because the water is already clear and you can find quite a lot of fish. Here, live with yourself. There are little frogs here, and they eat all of them. Yes, they even eat those little frogs. In general, you and I need to find feathers. On the shore, the biggest and most intact ones. First of all, we need to take our feather and just trim it. Trim it with scissors, but under no circumstances should you damage the core. Just trim it. So these edges, if you don't have scissors while fishing, you guys can just burn them off. Basically, the float is already ready. You can attach it to a duck and catch fish. But I have these nail polishes. This fishing one, a green one, and this red old kind of nail polish. And guys, you can just paint the float in bright colors. so that it looks good and can be seen from a distance. The thing is, the nail polish not only colors but also strengthens our float. It becomes strong, and if there were any micro cracks, for example, in the feather, the nail polish holds everything together. Guys, it, so to speak, strengthens like a protective layer. So, I ended up with these two floats, and I painted them in different colors. And by the way, my friends used to do it this way when there were no floats. It was indeed our grandfathers who made them, from bird feathers, friends. If you're planning to buy something online, I want to recommend a free service called eCatalog. This service will help you find the cheapest product that we start wrapping it. Best do this. Of course, be careful. You can wrap it not by hand but just by rotating it, which makes the knee itself, guys. This will be much faster. We're wrapping tightly. You can use regular sewing thread if you don't have nylon line, but I still recommend it to you. Nylon line made from nylon line. So, nylon line turns out to be much stronger, but it dries faster and adheres better with super glue. Now that everything is wrapped, you can take it with one hand and pull the edge a little tighter. With the second hand, just take the line. Is it the nylon line with super glue? You see how it absorbs right before your eyes? Just a couple of drops, and it soaks it up. You don't need to pour a lot, just a couple of drops. And it all gets soaked in literally within 5 minutes. This part will feel like plastic, like it's been repaired so well that you'll honestly be amazed. In my opinion, this is the easiest way to repair the rings or the handle on your reel. Guys, in my hands, I also have a reel that's as old as that fishing rod, and during one of my fishing trips, the handle broke. Just like that, I made a sharp hook set. It was, in general, but I was young and inexperienced, so to speak. I set the hook, started reeling in, and then suddenly the handle came off, so I took out the super glue from the drawer, got the line, and covered the whole reel, as you can see, the entire handle, with super glue. Before that, I wrapped it just like that with the line, and now, to this day, I have this layer of plastic formed here. Here, with the help of the line and super glue. A solid handle, just a big handle. It doesn't break on me, it's just lying here. Wow, that's a lot. Right now, I already have a lot of reels, good expensive ones. Back then, when there was no money, and every reel was worth its weight in gold, especially the spinning reels. So, they don't come cheap now, you could even say they're the most budget-friendly ones. And if you need several of them on the feeder, here you go. So friends, thanks to the fact that I always have super glue and nylon thread in my tackle box, you can repair it right on the fishing trip in a matter of minutes about Pike Papa Kesh. Handsome. Excellent. The next homemade product that I want to tell you about is a bottle tackle that I didn't even know about. I'm telling you about it or not, because it's such a clever rig in its own way. Very simple, but at the same time, very clever. This rig is mainly used for catching predatory fish. It's like a circle, but it's made from a bottle. Now I'm going to tell you how to set it up correctly and what its trick is. First of all, we will need some fishing line. Thick line, quite thick line. In my case, this is the line. Somewhere around, guys, 0.5. You can use 0.8 to 0.4. The thicker, the better. But there's no need for something thin. End of line. The end of the line. We tightly tie it to the neck of the bottle. After we've attached the fishing line to the neck of the bottle, we need to wind it up. Right here. How much we wind it up. Nice! It all depends on where you will be fishing for pike. If the depth at your fishing spot is 2 to 4 meters, then you should wind 4 or 8 meters of line, respectively. So you need to wind about twice as much line as the depth where you'll be fishing. Let's say you're fishing at a depth of 2 meters, then you should wind 4 to 5 meters of line onto the bottle, because of the pike. We will be unwinding it, so it needs to have some free play. When we've wound the necessary amount of line, here it is wound up. We put our favorite rubber band on this edge of the bottle. Later, I'll tell you why this is needed. So, we've put the rubber band on this edge, and here we have our fishing line. Here it is, guys, all wound up just like that. Now we need to make a leader for the pike. I use a leader made of fluorocarbon. The fluorocarbon I have is quite thick. Here is the fluorocarbon. We see it can handle 0.5 to 13.2 kilograms. This is the thickness of the fluorocarbon, but it's about the same thickness as the line, so that the pike can't bite through it. You see what a 0.5 fluorocarbon looks like? Well, we need about this much fluorocarbon, guys, I don't know, maybe around 30 centimeters. Usually you want a leader like this, but take an extra 5 to 7 centimeters just to be safe. tie the leader. You have some leftover pieces at the free end of the fluorocarbon, and we're going to tie on a treble hook, which is quite small for me. So that the pike can swallow it whole, I don't use a big one. Now we need to tie it on here. So, that means I tied ours together. Treble hook. Now we can cut off the end, leaving a small little tag, and this little tag is just a bit. I recommend you to melt it a bit with a lighter, guys. Fluorocarbon does not burn, like... The fishing line melts a little. Just everything and the little birds, with the handle. So, we pressed it down, and it's not hot anymore. And let a little piece stick out like this. Let that swivel stick out, which you will be using. Guys, it shouldn't be the weakest one either. If you have any trusted manufacturers, use them. If not, just buy one that's not the cheapest. We tie our swivel in exactly the same way. So, this is how we tied our hook. Thread, edge through loop, tighten it into the loop. Now we carefully tighten it all up. Tighten it up. We let the thick fluorocarbon settle. Make sure to wet everything down. Saliva. There we go. And that's all good. We tighten it tightly. We melt and clamp it. That's it. We ended up with, my friends, this kind of leader. About 30 centimeters. Long for pike. Next, we need to take a fishing sleeve for floats. Well, about that length. And cut it in half to make 2 small pieces from it. We take the main line from our bottle. We take the line from the bottle, guys, the main one, right? At the very edge. And we thread our sleeves in here. One sleeve is in place. Then, after the first sleeve, we take the swivel from our leader and thread the swivel in there. After the sleeve, we put in the swivel, and after the swivel, we add the second sleeve. These will be our homemade stops. I'll explain how everything will be stopped. Alright, now we tie our weight to this simple free end. I have this small little weight here with a snap hook. The line is also tied to the snap hook very simply with the same knot we've all been using so far. Now we take our sleeves, with the leader in between, as you understood, and a regular match. This is also, guys, a homemade item. We stick our match all the way in, break off the end, and then we do the same with the second match, sticking it into the second one. Sleeve it tightly. Whoa! This is how we do it. The end comes out. The end, we break it off. And that's it. We have 2 sleeves. Here's the leader wobbling between them. And the sleeves adjust the leader. So, if we need to increase the depth, we just take and shift the sleeve, move the leader, and the second sleeve. Now we can change the depth. You see how easy it is to make stops by hand. So we ended up with the following setup. The weight. Here's the weight. And then the leader goes from the weight. This is the carbon number on the 2 swivels. Here it is, the T, guys. The depth can be adjusted, as I told you. Let's say we need to make more. We take the swivel, pull both up like this, and simply pull the lower stopper. Thanks to these homemade stoppers, we can adjust this thing as we want, lower or higher depth. Right now, the depth is about 1 meter, but we can make it even less with 1 stop, 2 stops, these homemade stops. This is done, as you understand, very simply. The load for such gear should be grams. Well, in my case, it's about 70 grams, but you can use a 50-gram weight, something like that. As you know, for example, the depth is about 2 meters. You set it to about 1.5 meters, so our live bait can swim. And to keep the bottle from unraveling, you take the end of the line like this. Just fold it in half and put it under our office rubber band. You just stick it in here. If your rubber band is weak, you can simply fold it in half like this. Half. Oh, and it will hold. If you don't have an office rubber band, it's very easy to take a fishing rubber band. It's strong, you know, like a fishing rig with rubber. And from it, you can just make a similar round rubber. Guys, what's great about this rig? The first thing that's good about it is that when you put it on the water, fishermen don't understand what it is. So you can leave it overnight. You can set up several of these rigs with bottles. To go float fishing on your back, ping. You'll come back after a while, pull out a pike, and the fisherman won't know what it is. It doesn't attract attention. You can, so that let's say the bottle is there. Are you watching them closely? Here in this area, you need to insert a piece of paper, brightly colored, or fabric, some bright color, into the bottle. And you won't be able to see it well. You can make some kind of flag, a signaling device, but you don't need to do that. The essence of the tackle is its stealth. It's just an ordinary bottle. Fishermen think that this is some kind of boyok, let's say, for parking for fishing with onboard rods, or something else, but in reality you've just made a simple rig and that's it. I'm going to fish with these types of throw rods this year, so here's the first one and here's the next one. I'll make more, guys, and I'll definitely shoot a video on fishing with these rigs. If you like this tackle and everything is clear to you, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't understand something, write in the comments and I'll try to explain everything to you. All the details about this rig. But the tackle is really cool. Well, here's a collection of DIY fishing gear. I managed to catch something this time. If you liked everything, like and subscribe, guys. And the main thing, when fishing, the most important thing is not the fish, not its quantity, but to have a good time. If you've caught a lot of fish, let some of them go. If you've caught small ones, let those go too. Next time, luck will definitely smile on you, and you'll catch your trophy. This was Sergey from the YouTube channel Assistance TV. See you soon. Leave comments, give it a thumbs up, guys. If it's not too much trouble, please share this video on social media. I wish you all good luck. Bye all. Alright, I forgot. Click the bell so you don't miss any new videos and get notifications from my channel.